Hey friends, it's TJ. Welcome back to another episode of Tea with TJ. And today I have Arnold Harper. Please introduce yourself for the folks listening and watching.
Hello, everyone. I am Arnold Harper II. I'm 6'1", currently in New York City. I'm just
yes,
kidding.
Slate.
Come on, Slate.
Yes.
Now, I'm a sunflower, actor, singer, stylist, fashion enthusiast, everyone's big cousin.
Love it. Love it.
Sinclair James, you know.
Sinclair James.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's me.
I love it.
Yeah.
So welcome to season 3. We're in season 3
Hey.
currently of Tea with TJ. This has been a long time coming. I think I told you the other day that you were very much on the list of people that I was going to approach to be on this show.
I am honored.
So I'm very happy to finally have you here.
I made it, y'all.
And there is something that I have been wanting to try out that I'm going to try with you.
Okay.
And that is just because what I've realized in the past 2 seasons is that when I have guests, I know the guest, but the audience does not know the guest.
Yeah.
So we kind of just jump into the episode.
Yeah.
But I would love for you to just give me your story. Like, tell me your story. Where are you from? Where did you grow up? You know, how did you end up in New York? All of that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is my favorite story.
Okay.
It's like one of my favorite stories.
Okay.
Born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
I got here 7 years ago. July 1st was my anniversary date. I was, thank you. I was a leasing consultant in Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, wow.
And I had just finished doing a community college version of, a community theater production of Five Guys Named Mo. I don't know if you know the show, but I play Eat Mo and I sang Don't Let the Sun Catch You Crying. And I get this big roaring applause and I start crying. And it's like, it's never happened to me before.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, okay. And I just heard a voice being like, you need to move to New York City to pursue this thing.
Okay.
That you feel so... It feels so natural for you. It feels like you enjoy this and the people enjoy you. So make it a thing. I sat at my computer at my leasing desk the next day. I looked at my coworker and I was like, hey, I'm quitting, just so you know, in 2 weeks.
I love that.
And he thought I was lying. I had the note ready.
Boom. Wow. Resignation ready.
Resignation ready. No job lined up. No place. But I'm a leap of faither. So my day off was, I think, Monday. I was applying to jobs that week, and luckily I got an email for an interview that filled that spot that Monday that I was off.
Wow.
I had 3 interviews at 3 jobs.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I looked at 3 places. Long story short, the 3rd interview was like, we'd like to offer you a job.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the 3rd apartment was like, you seem like a good kid. You can move here.
Okay.
Okay. And I said, well, Lord, I guess I'm doing this thing.
All right. Come on, universe.
2 weeks later, okay. Shut up. I moved here with $50 to my name and a check that I was waiting for the following week.
Wow.
And I was doing the thing.
Jeez. Wait, and when did you move here?
July 1st, 2017.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, and I was in Jersey City. The first 2 weeks I was living there, I was on the floor, sleeping on top of newspapers.
Well.
But I was so happy.
Yeah.
And I was here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my parents were, a little concerned. My mom was like, you should be living like that. She bought me a little air mattress when she found out. And I was like, Ma, I'm gonna do this thing. And she said, you know what? Do you, boo? And once I felt that support, I was like, I can do anything.
Oh, I love that.
And now I'm here.
I love that. Oh my gosh, that's
7
amazing.
years later.
That is amazing. So that it's funny because I know we went back and forth on the topic for the episode today.
Yes.
But hearing that story, not hot topics. But hearing that story, it actually is in alignment with the topic that you did kind of sort of choose.
Yes.
Because I like every guest to choose their topic because I'm like, whatever you can discuss and feel most comfortable talking about, it'll make for a good episode. And you chose lived experiences and how they've kind of shaped you.
Yes.
And I feel like that's a perfect example of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to know how, in thinking about this whole like lived experience thing, in moving to New York in 2017, because I'm on the socials and I get to watch and be witness and see what you are doing out in the world. And I'm so happy to be witness to that. But I know that like the struggles of a New York actor are real.
Very much so real.
And I know, and I feel like I saw something about this like a while ago. I feel like I saw something on your story about it a while ago, about how people get to see all of the good stuff, but no one actually ever sees the stuff that you go through, and like the amounts of rejection and no's and all the auditions. Yes. So what experiences have you had prior to what I would consider this season being kind of like your flowering season right now? Like what experiences have you had where you felt like you wanted to quit, or you felt like you just might have packed it up and left and like went back to Baltimore, or if that existed for you, because I know that that's not the case for everybody.
Oh, it absolutely existed. It was the first year I moved here. So I feel like yes, I am like I said, I'm a leap of faith there. Like I feel like I'm like led, but my heart is pounding at the same time. And when I moved here, I was like, oh, I'm gonna book Broadway. The first year here, I'm gonna give it 6 months to a year, and I'm gonna be a star, like Barbara Streisand. And casting, and people were like, "Who are you, kid? Baby, You got a couple more auditions to do that." And it made me nervous because I'm like, I had this job that was cool, but I was like, I came here to pursue theater and to like be an entertainer, and that it wasn't as fast tracked as I thought it would be. So the nerves got kicked in and the doubt kicked in. I was like, oh, am I meant to do this? And then shout out to like the friends that I made along the way in that year, because I was doing cabarets, and then I would be meeting people, and they'd be like, come sing here, and I found like healing in that. And I found a sense of belonging in the people I met along the way in those auditions. And in the lounges and the stage door at the theaters. And I was like, oh, okay, I can do this thing a little bit longer. I'm gonna cry when I get home, but when I step out this apartment, I'm a step with enjoy, and I got business to take care of.
Oh my God, I love that. I remember us finally. I feel like we circled each other for a very long time.
Yes, we did.
And then post pandemic, was it 2020 or 21? I think it was 21.
Yes,
we finally sat down and like had a chat.
Yes,
and like met up in person. Because I feel like we had been on each other's feeds for a while.
Yes.
And I kept thinking, I was like, who is this man? How have I not met this man? And we finally connected and sat down. And I remember thinking how, how warm you were and how receptive you were and how open you were. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, these are the types of people that I want to interact with in this industry. Especially fast forward, working some jobs that I've worked since that moment. And seeing some things where I've been like, I don't know how we can continue to exist in this space with certain types of attitudes and personalities and egos. So I just want to say and acknowledge thank you for that, because that was a magical moment and a very pivotal moment, I think, in what is becoming a friendship between the two of us. So with this whole idea of lived experiences and how it's shaped you, what do you think has been like the biggest factor that has contributed to like your personality, your view of life, mantras, if you have those? What has really contributed to that?
My family. Growing up, my grandmother always preached kindness. And my mom, like, no matter what you're going through, when you because you're gonna meet those same people, you know, in your successes, and you know, when things aren't going so well, you're gonna see those people. And in my life, in particular, the same people I had like a little tiff with, or like, you know, just a little disagreement, or you know, I might have met at, I don't know, some random store, you know, uptown. I'll see them downtown somewhere, and I'm like, okay, hey, friend. So I think it's my family raised me to be kind, and to know that, like, no matter what I'm going through, to not necessarily, if it's bad, to not put that on people. My grandmother was very complimentary. She loved to like make people's day. So if she saw somebody mad or upset, she'd look at them and be like, "Baby, you got a pretty smile." And I'm like, "Grandma, they're not even smiling," and they start to smile, and then that affects, you know what I mean? That's now their spirits are lifted, even in that moment. And then they're gonna do that to other people, and it's like a trickle up effect, if you will.
Yeah, I was gonna say I definitely have encountered that with you, and experienced that both personally and amongst a group of people. And you've always been so complimentary and so present with people, which I've enjoyed.
Yeah,
and I've enjoyed so much about you, and like being in your space with you.
I love people. Yeah, I do. No matter how complicated we may be. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I don't think we're that complicated. Just want love, some good food, and, you know, Netflix special.
I feel like there's the world we live in now has unfortunately become very cynical.
Yeah.
And I share this idea with you that, you know, I also love people. I love interacting with people.
Yeah.
I love good people.
Yes.
You know, there's something about the human connection, and there's something about in-person connections. The pandemic was one of those moments where I didn't realize until I was in it how much I depended upon those interactions with people.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
You know, it fed me in a way, like it fed my soul.
Yeah.
And so once that was gone, having to figure out how to interact with people and get that sense of fulfillment that I was getting with being with people in person, there was no way to like,
it was hard.
Yeah. It's like there was no way to do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I think you might have been one of the first people that I saw outside post-pandemic. Like when I came back to New York.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
How special.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over
and I was like, oh God, this is yeah. I remember. Oh my gosh.
I love that. What a moment. The time. What a time. The blessing in my life around that time was like I was living with my best friend. So like we would cook and just like sit around and laugh and talk, and we watch a TV show, and then once we stopped laughing, we'd be like, I'm going to bed. Good night. So and it was like every night. And I was like, thank you, God. I know that wasn't for everybody. Shout out to people who weren't, but like, that was my lived experience in that time. So I was able to kind of like,
oh my gosh,
be joyful and do a little healing. And then once we got out, I was like, oh, okay, I'll see you next Thursday at 3 p.m. Okay, no, you have a self-tape. Okay, that's okay. Well, we'll figure it out. Yeah.
It's interesting. That time was very, very specific, and I think again going back to this whole lived experience bubble that we're in right now.
Yeah.
That moment I think shaped so many of our lives, both good and bad. Because I think I've had this conversation with a few people already.
Yeah.
But the pandemic definitely shaped our lives in a way that for some people forgot how to interact with people face to face, and how to be gracious and to be present with others in an actual physical space. But then some other people bloomed. Some people dove into themselves and really did a lot of healing and a lot of internal work, down in the depths of their soul.
Okay.
I feel like I sit in this place where being in the pandemic, in the thick of it, because I think I was fortunate enough, and it's not lost on me, I feel like I was fortunate enough. There was a chunk of time where I was actually isolated in Florida. And then when I came back to New York, when I finally was like, okay, Disney is done.
Yeah.
There is no coming back.
Hanging out.
I can finally go back to New York, and I had someone with me daily.
Yes.
But that little time in Florida where I was in that room by myself, my roommate was gone, and it was just me and my dog. There were some moments where I was like, I don't know what I should be doing. Like, I feel like I should be taking this time to write a play or to read a book or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, my mind can't focus.
Yes.
Have you ever felt like you've had one of those moments in your life, whether it be in the pandemic or not, where there's just so much going on and you seem like you can't focus or you can't see through the moment that you're in?
Has it been? I want to say yes. It's happened. I think in the like after the pandemic, all of a sudden there was so many. During the break of the pandemic, and theaters were like, we're back, but wear a mask. All of a sudden you get like all these self tapes, and you're like, but wait, I'm still thinking, I'm still, and then you're like, well, I have to be off book. And what is a self tape? What is it? How do you tilt your phone? What's the lighting? I'm awkward. I think that was that time when I was like, should I be doing this right now when people are dying? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. So I think that was my time. I was like, we should be doing that because people need to experience joy and peace, and we need to share that with people in this dark time where people are losing loved ones and people they care about. Life is short. So we got to be push happy, push knowledge on top of happy and joy, or just like not happy but joy and peace. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that was the word that stuck out to me post-pandemic the most, was joy, and how to find it and how to keep it. Because I think I realized during that time, in this whole kind of like figuring out where my life was, I think at that point I had just turned 30, so I was approaching 31, and very much arrived at a place where I thought, post coming out of Disney, the gates were going to open for me, and I thought that Broadway was going to be around the corner, a national tour was going to be around the corner, and then everything shut down. And so I had to pivot and figure out, what is life? How do I move on? Because prior to that moment, Broadway had never done that before. Like, sure, a flood here, a tornado there, a snowstorm here, we shut down for a night, but not for an extended amount of time where there's literally just nothing happening. And so coming back from that, I was like, oh, I actually need to figure out how to live without this. And the crazy thing is that I'm actually really grateful for that moment, because now, this is an unpopular opinion, but now I feel like, even though I love theater, even though I love live theater and musical theater, and there's nothing like being on stage. Let me preface by saying that there's nothing like being on a stage. There's nothing like performing 8 shows a week. And I know some people don't necessarily want to do 8 a week.
That's the fight words.
But I thoroughly enjoy it. However, I think being in that space where we were completely in a drought opened my eyes to be very aware and conscious of, I have to figure out a way to do something else. So that when and if this happens again, I'm not sitting here in the dark again.
Crying under a blanket.
Because I feel like a lot of us were, shit out of luck. Unfortunately, it's like TV and film had not come back yet. The most work I had an opportunity to even audition for was voiceover work, because you could do it from home. And so that opened up a whole industry that I was kind of tiptoeing around originally, because theater was such the focus. But after that experience, I booked a voiceover job. I think it happened around the time that we hung out that time. But
come on, manifestation. Well, speaking over your life.
Well, but after that experience, I was like, oh, like I actually really enjoyed this. Like this is something that I can do from anywhere.
Yep.
I can live on a farm and do this.
Yep.
I don't have to live in a cramped 1x1 box in New York City just to live my dreams. Like,
Yep.
I can tell stories behind a mic.
Yep.
I can create characters behind a mic. Like, I can do all of this stuff.
Yep.
And I can go outside and no one will know who I am.
No one.
No one will care. Did you ever have any type of realizations or revelations when it came to theater? Whether it be during the pandemic or even in your blossoming season now,
Yeah.
like, are you having any realizations where you feel I could do this, or this is a non-negotiable now because I've experienced this? Like, what has it been like for you?
You know, it's interesting. I had this random thought. I was scrolling and I was looking at something. Oh, I was looking at this this photo of these models at a laundromat. And I was like, I could be like a laundry, like I could own a laundromat.
Okay.
And I feel like that would bring me peace. I think it's because like being around like clothes and warm and hearing something as simple as like a noise on a machine and like me holding the clothes and folding them. Like, I feel like I could do that.
Okay.
I love theater too. I love it a lot.
Yeah.
But it's not like the end all be all. I feel like I can do other things, and I feel like the pandemic kind of helped me explore that. Also, I love fashion, so like styling became a thing, kind of like in the midst of that too, because I was like styling people for photo shoots and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I have other venues that I can explore. And I kind of am interested in like now like hosting too, or just like I don't know, like that could be a thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I can totally see that.
I see that too, you know. But I also, what made me think? Oh, when I did waitress, I was like, oh, I could be a server. So I think, long story short, for me, it's anything dealing with people or uplifting people, being in contact with people. I can make their day.
I love that.
Long story short, I feel like that is
yeah,
the calling.
I love
and
that.
People are everywhere. So I'm like,
you can go anywhere.
I won. Take that. Oh yeah.
So I want to talk about your experience as a stylist, because I don't think I have had the opportunity. I've seen it, you know, as you've posted things, but we've never had a conversation about it. I'm curious to know, like, how did you fall into that? What prompted the idea, or what was the trigger that like put you out into that?
So I'm a Virgo, and I have a lot of opinions. I grew up with, like I said, my grandmother and mother, who would like take me thrifting every weekend growing up, and that was the thing. That was like my like vacation to Florida, if you will. You know, my grandmother would show me fabrics and be like, put this on, put that on, and it like built up to me moving to New York City and like telling my friends, I think you look cute in this, try this. And then Denise Manning, shout out to Denise Manning.
All right.
She was the one, she had an award show she was going to, I think it was the Helen Hayes Award. She was like, Arnold, do you like this dress? And I was like, yeah. All of a sudden I'm like, these shoes go with this, and these earrings go with this. Put your hair up, you're pretty. Pretty women should have their hair up and out of their face. That was what I told her. Because she's stunning. And that started it. And then fast track to when the pandemic broke, Nasia Thomas. Shout out to cousin. Nasia Thomas. She was like, hey, Arnold, Drew Shade of A Broadway Black is doing a shoot at like A Day in the Life. And can you stop me for it? I said, girl, absolutely. You have been my dream person to style.
Oh wow.
Since I saw her in Ain't Too Proud. So I was like, oh, what? Yeah. So that became a thing. And she posted, she was like, Arnold, stop me down. And then literally people kept like messaging me. And I was like, yes. And I've been saying yes for a while.
Come on, say yes.
And it led to, Sis and Martavis Parrish, Denise Manning, So you know,
I love it.
Kayla Davion. I don't know. So yeah,
I love that.
That's how it just happened. I just say yes. Just say yes.
Well, come on.
You're calling, and people would always mention like fashion and me styling to them. So I think like you know what a calling like your people kind of speak your calling to you. Like you know what it is when like the voice. So like things start happening.
Yeah.
So say yes.
Yeah.
Say yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You know, I am very much in alignment with that. Like it's something that I started, I think in, what year was that? Whatever, I did a children's theater tour, Clifford the Big Red Dog. Back in yeah.
That's on my list.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, because children are vocal.
Yeah.
They're vocal. When they like it, they'll tell you. If it's funny, it is funny.
It is funny.
When it's dramatic, when it's sad, it is sad.
Uh-huh.
You know, sometimes adults are like, the kids are like, ha 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 ha. So yeah, that's on my list.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I did Clifford the Big Red Dog, and it was the year that Shonda Rhimes' book Year of Yes came out, and I read that because it was the budget was not big, but we had to drive from place to place. So we took turns driving.
Yeah.
And on my days off where I didn't have to drive, I would just be sitting in the back reading that book, because we would have to pull out of a city, you know, in 2 hours and then drive somewhere else and be there by the same day to do the show.
So from Maryland to Texas.
Pretty much.
In one day.
Pretty much.
Got it.
Pretty much.
God bless you.
And so I needed things to occupy my mind, because I was like, Lord Jesus, I just cannot look at cornfields all day today. I can't do it. But I remember reading that book, and I remember her whole story. Have you ever read it?
Nah, but I want to.
It's a good read. It's an easy read. It's super quick. But I remember reading it, and that whole concept of just saying yes.
Yeah.
She challenged herself in that book to, I think it was for a year, to say yes to everything, no matter what it was, no matter how scary it was or how uncomfortable it made her, to just say yes. And I looked at my life in that moment, and I was like, you know what? I've definitely said no to a lot of things that I felt like I wasn't right for, or that I was uncomfortable about doing, or because it didn't pay enough, or blah, 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 blah. The list goes on and on.
Yes.
And I remember reading that, and after that, being able to say yes to things and figuring out, I'm like, oh, if I actually say yes, if I come into the world, into the universe, into this space open, the things that I actually want will show up.
Come on in.
The things that I've been searching for, the things that I've been pursuing will actually finally arrive, because I'm actually open
to it. Right.
So I love that. I love all of that, because I am very much trying to operate and continue to operate in that space.
Yes.
This whole industry is hard, and sometimes it's difficult to want to say yes, because New York is not an easy place to live. No. And unfortunately, with the world we live in, we have to figure out how to pay bills.
Okay. Okay, right. And you can't pay your bills on exposure.
Right. Yeah.
Slow stare. Yeah. Sips tea.
But yeah, so before we go, we do this thing on Tea with TJ where I ask you 3 questions unrelated to the topic.
Okay.
I call it the last 3.
Okay.
Answer how freely or not freely you would like to.
Okay.
Unrelated to the topic, just to give the audience a little nugget of knowledge. Okay. You ready?
Nugget of knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
What brings you the most peace?
What brings me the most peace? Laughter. Hearing people laugh.
Okay.
Yeah. Hearing people laugh.
I love that. Okay. Where do you find joy in the world?
FaceTiming family and friends, or sitting on a friend's couch in a sweatset.
Okay.
Yes.
I love a good sweatset.
Shout out to Paul, y'all. Paul is here.
I know. My God. Thank God. And then final question. Where do you feel your heart lives?
tough one. Oh my
It's all
God.
right.
Like I want to say it's like with me wherever I go, but then it's also where like my family and like my friends are. It's in a couple of different places. It's when I see somebody like crying on the subway station, like I want to like lend them my heart, or like on a theater, on a stage, like right here in this moment, I'm like I want to like share my heart. So it's everywhere.
I love it. I love that answer.
I don't. Is that corny?
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
no.
Okay,
That's good. I love it.
Okay,
That's a beautiful answer.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
This
for
has been
having me.
great.
It has.
Where can the folks find you?
You can find me at Arnold Harper II everywhere.
Love it. Love it. And then I also love to just give space for, is there anything we did not discuss that you feel like has been in your heart or on your heart that you want to share in this moment?
No.
Okay.
No. I hope people can like find joy wherever they can.
Well.
And if they don't have it, I hope they get it. I hope they give it and get it.
Love it. Love
And I
it.
hope any negative thing or it just like ceases, or like it goes away.
No.
You learn from it and move on.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well,
That's it.
well, thank you again for doing this.
Thank you.
This will not be your last time on the podcast. I'm saying that out loud right now.
Hopefully not.
But with that, thanks so much for listening, friends, and I will see you next week.
See y'all.